And welcome to the Broome Coaches Corner, coming to you from the Sugar and Spice here on South Pine Street. The Shrine on Pine, as they call it right here, though. But we are joined by Broome head football coach Lynn Fleming. Well, Coach, good win Friday night. I wish I could have been there to witnessed it, but I had my eye in the sky. Barry Tony giving me updates. Didn't know how accurate they were, but at least I had some idea what was going on.
That's right. I tell you, it was a good win for our guys. We played hard and played really well at times, and still got some things that we need to improve on, and we'll continue to do that. But it's always good to come out of, especially go on the road and get a win.
And saw where, you had a lot of choices, possibilities this week for offensive player of the week. That Jameson, 13 out of 14 for over 300 yards.
Yeah.
And you had several other people. You had, I think, three rushed for over 100 yards, and with a touchdown there. So, again, just tell us a little bit, what you saw on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, I thought, everything always starts up front with those guys. I think those guys played really well, our offensive line up front, and they had a big week, and I thought we did a good job. Our guys, mixing it up just enough to stretch the field, from side to side, to vertically, to be able to run the football. So, I thought the balance was there. We were able to be successful in all three phases there. And, offensively, so I think that makes a big difference. When we can do that, that gives us a chance to be successful.
Okay, on the defensive side there, you pretty much knew that they were going to run the football and all, and I think they had one drive, maybe the scoring drive, they didn't throw it a single time, though. No. But just talk about who played well on the defensive side for you.
Connor Eccles played well for us. I think, he was our defensive player of the week, and I think he had 9 tackles, and, he's a young man is kind of just new to our program. This is kind of his first year, and he likes football. He likes to contact, and so he did a really good job for us this week. I think Booker had 11 tackles. He played well. So he's kind of playing both sides of the ball, and so we had several of those guys. I thought we had some guys up front that did a good job for us at times. So those guys are. As a whole, they're just going to keep getting better, and they've had a great 2 days of practice, and we're excited to go out and get better again this week.
In a game situation like that, where you're playing running back basically by committee, that first week that Booker had the hot hand and was doing real well. Thrift had the big game for you this time, rushing-wise. Was it kind of one of those where you went with him because Booker was having a really good game on defense to let him go like that, or what do you do in a situation like that? You go with a hot hand or not?
Well, it's kind of what it's going to be. We hope to mix those guys in some, but Taquan was so important, so valuable to us on defense, and he was making so many plays, and they had a couple long drives that kept him on the field for a long time. So, and Preston, he wasn't playing that much defense, so he was pretty fresh. So that was kind of the decision Friday. We would like to rotate them and get them both about equal reps as a game goes along, and then try to decide who's a better fit, because they're both very different in what they do, and how they run the football, and it helps us attack defenses differently, and so they both got to share the wealth, and again, we don't know from night to night who's going to be that guy, which is a really good problem to have.
All right, you got that first win under your belt, and played the first 2 on the road. You get to come home this week, and it's no easy game coming home. But I know this is going to be a really special night, Friday night, because it's going to be the Friday night, the 20th anniversary of the state championship team, and a lot of things going on. And tell us just a little bit about what all is on the program. I know Hal's having to handle a lot of things, but what all is on the schedule for Friday night?
Yeah, I think it's just going to be a night of celebrating that 2004 state championship team and their accomplishments. And it was very special being our program's first state championship in football. It was neat as a coach. I actually coached against them in the first round of the playoffs that year, and had a chance to go down to Columbia and watch them and obviously pull for them then. So it's just, especially for Broome people, that's, there for a long time. We were, talking about going down to Myrtle Beach in '81 and playing in the state championship there, and it just gave us something new to talk about in 2004 in that group, and what a special group they were, and not just football, in a lot of sports. They were very dominant during that period, and so it just gives us a chance to celebrate them, and Coach McManus was part of that group. Obviously the basketball coach during that time, so. It's just again, just gives us opportunity for our community to celebrate their accomplishments and show our guys what can be accomplished.
And I remember some of those names well because I coached against them in basketball that year.
Absolutely.
With DJ and the twins and all the rest of that crowd over there, though, that it was kind of funny that when Hal was playing them as youngsters, I think they were sophomores or something on the basketball team that year. I remember they came up to our place and they jumped on us and had us down 12-0 to start the game. And I just kind of sat back and let mine play out. I called timeout and we had a little prayer meeting over on my sidelines, and we ended the game on a 66-22 run.
Oh, wow.
So I don't let DJ forget that one when I see him right there, though. But we did have some good games in basketball with those guys and all, though. All right, Spartanburg lost a tough game this past week against Dutch Fork, and we all know that they're how they are. Had a close game with South Point first week there, though. But, what have you seen with them on film?
Very similar to what they were last year. I mean, they're just, they're very fast on defense. They close ground in a hurry. They get a lot of hands to the football. So that's the biggest thing. Not a whole lot of missed assignments. They're a very well coached football team. Really on both sides of the ball and special teams as well. So, we're looking forward to the challenge and, especially being at our place and having a little fun Friday night.
And again, I know that they're going to come in the running are they primarily running the ball? Someone had told me that they had to finish the game with their third-string quarterback the other night, that their quarterbacks have been hurt. I don't know how accurate that was, but didn't know if that kind of limited them some in the passing game.
No, I think one of them was hurt. I think they were rotating two, and I think one of them got hurt. I think the other one's playing, and they still try to stay fairly balanced with what they do. They try to take advantage of what a defense is giving them, and obviously, Coach McAbee and Coach Hodge and those guys over there do a great job, and been doing this a long time. So, they just do a really good job of getting their guys in position to play.
All right, one thing you always have to deal with, and every season, injuries, and knock on wood, the Centurions, we hadn't had to do too many of the Carolina Spine and Health injury reports. How is the team health-wise right now?
Yeah, I mean, we're pretty good right now. We got a couple that's banged up a little bit, but, hopefully not anything to keep these guys from dressing Friday night and playing Friday night. So, knock on wood, we kind of keep them fresh. It's kind of double-edged swords. You want to get them to Friday, but you got to find a way to work them hard enough to get better during the week.
Yes.
So it's kind of a fine balance of being physical and again, and not getting them hurt and making sure all of them are, out there on Friday night. That's a challenge for us as coaches. And, again, we want to be healthy on Friday night, which obviously gives us the best chance to win.
How much, and again, that's an interesting thing, you brought that up right there, how much live contact can you actually go through in a week? Because, again, you don't want your guys beat up and stuff like that, but you don't want them going in and getting the habit of arm tackling and not really wrapping up, though. How do you judge on what you need to do on that?
It's really tough. We do a lot of what we call thudding. In other words, we get to the football, we wrap up, and we don't stop our feet, which is what you want to teach tackling anyway. We don't We don't want to get a lot of guys to the ground. We don't want to be around their knees and ankles. We want to fit guys, and we want to wrap them up, and we want to drive our feet and to finish the tackle. And so, we get a chance to work on both of that. We do tackling drills, through our defensive periods to work on the gator tackling, the hawk tackling, you call it, and all that stuff. But as far as team stuff is usually a lot of thud. We're fast to the football and we fit, and but we try to keep guys up and make sure we don't get any knees or ankles hurt.
You're 2 games into the season right now. I guess you've got your jamborees and those things you count too. But has anybody really maybe caught your eye on the team that you really weren't expecting them maybe to contribute as much as they have? I know last year I think one of the surprise players was Booker, because you said, I think beginning of the year, you didn't know whether he's going to play varsity or JV and all, and he really stepped up. But is there anybody that's really surprised you with the contributions they've made so far?
We got a few guys. Like I said, we had some guys that were very inexperienced, especially on the defensive front, that have kind of stepped up and playing a lot. And it's hard to pick out one guy because we have several that's done it. Offensive line wise, we just had the one guy. We've got Carson Taylor plugged in there who's done a really good job for us. But to be honest with you, the one guy that we've really been pleased with, who continues to get better, is our kicker, Roger McGee. He's obviously kicking extra points for us, kicking off for us. He's worked really hard at that, and and works on it every day. He comes to practice and works hard to get better. And Coach Dixon's got him a little routine that he goes through, and which allows him to get better. And he's gotten better every week.
We wondered that week one when you got the ball and you were down close on that first series after getting the opening kickoff down there, if it came to a point when you were in the red zone down there where maybe you had to last year we knew you had the option of being able to kick a field goal. What kind of range, or would you be looking this part of the season of going for it down there, or do you feel comfortable trying to kick a field goal?
Well, I think there was one opportunity against BHP. We probably should have kicked the field goal just to kick it, just to be in that situation and let Roger be in that situation, and but we didn't. We opted not to, and but we kind of watch him in pregame. That kind of determines where we at. I try to see where he's at, what yard line he's on, what he seems to feel comfortable doing, and we try to gauge it off that. So I think it's a little bit different for him. Each game, but so that's usually what we try to base it off of.
Okay, let's get down into breaking down this week's game. Again, what exactly will we see Spartanburg try to do offensively? Who are some people that we need to watch out for them on the offensive side?
Yeah, the running back does a good job. They're a zone team. They want to run a zone scheme and let him just find creases. And he's good at what he does. But they have some playmakers out of receiver, and they have. They have 4 good ones. They can catch the ball and can make the plays. Just about anywhere, whether it be down the field, whether it be any intermediate routes, or whether it be screens. They can do a good job with all of it. And so they're definitely, there's weapons all over the field for him offensively.
I know that they've got several really good defensive players coming back from last year, though. And the game we had over there, that was a heck of a defensive battle. I personally thought the Centurion defense played one of the best games I've ever seen them play over there. But, what can you tell us a little bit about their defense?
Yeah, again, just fast. They're they want to bring pressure. They want to bring guys from just about anywhere, and they will bring them from anywhere. So they're they want to force the negative yardage play. So that's kind of their go-to. They're going to be a 3-man front most of the time, but they're going to bring a 4th or 5th and maybe a 6th guy, depending on the situation. And we're just going to have to do a good job of taking advantage of that when they do, and especially being able to recognize that and where they're coming from. So, they're very sound in what they do, and obviously they do a good job when they do that, and they do get hit with a play, they recover well. Again, they're fast enough. They don't give up a lot of big plays. So you just have to move the ball down the field, methodically, and take what you can get and take your shots when you can take them, and and find your way in the end zone 3, 4, 5 yards at a time.
And we know on the special teams they've got a secret weapon. Their kicker kicked, a 51-yard field goal on the final play of the game to beat South Point, though, and that's pretty good. I think he's a younger brother of a really good kicker they had several years ago, though. Yeah. But just tell us a little bit about the special teams and kicking game.
Yeah, he is. What the biggest thing, his leg. I think he made 4 field goals against South Point. But the biggest thing is the most underrated thing, in my opinion, in high school football is what he does. When he kicks off, he kicks in the end zone. And that forces a team to go 80 yards, and going 80 yards is a lot different than going 60 yards. Mm-hmm. So it's just that many more snaps that has to be made, and he can, he kicks it well. It's a different sound when he hits it, and it's just he does a really good job for him.
All right, what do you see as being the keys to tonight's ball game?
The biggest thing is tackle. We have to tackle well. When we get a hold of somebody, we have to get other hats to the football, and we have to get them to the ground. I think tackling is going to be a huge factor for us defensively. Offensively, you say it every week is, you just can't play behind the sticks. You just gotta have a good plays on first down, to give yourself options on second down, and you just got to set yourself up for good opportunities, and hopefully we can do that Friday.
Should be a very exciting night for all the Centurions to come out and support two teams that are about probably a driver and maybe a 5-iron away from each other up there. If you're Coach Tony, you could probably do that, though.
Probably
you
so.
cut the corner, though, but you don't know where that driver is going. But it should be a great high school football game environment, and, again, a lot of similarities, a lot of things going on with Coach Hodge coming back, and just should be a great night with the celebration of the 20th year of the state championship.
Absolutely. It'll be special.
Good luck. We look forward to talking to you after the game.
Sounds great. Thanks,
Thank
Coach.
you.